Just getting rid of the other giants 1 second here. And you see that this is, yeah, 2 other giants that are sitting next to her. There's the room itself resembles an amphitheater. There's stone bleachers that kind of overlook the oblong chamber, and there's a 50-foot deep pool of seawater near the center. In the middle of the bleachers is the archway that you just walked through, as well as the 2 doors that are now closed as you both enter in. Facing the pool are the 3 enormous thrones that I described. The one is the one that I showed you the picture of, and has 4 blue dragon skulls affixed to its base, and it floats about 1 foot above the floor. And you see Sarissa sits on the throne. She's flanked by 2 advisors that are sitting next to her. I thought I had a picture of them, but maybe I don't. And they appear to be 2 stone giants. The stone giant on the right side has sort of a darker hue to her skin, and she has what appears to be a horn that kind of comes out of her forehead. And then there's some bone that's kind of holding up her hair, sort of in a circular position. The other one is a very old storm giant who's sitting there. Appears to be very smart, and kind of has that sage-like look to him. You do see that Cersei is kind of staring blankly towards you all, and the 2 sisters are in the room as well, kind of flanked on each side. And Nim sees you guys walk in. Barry, are you coming in as well?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay, no problem. That's okay. I just wanted to make sure that you're on your way in. So you guys come inside, and the doors close behind you, and you see her sitting on the throne.
I don't know how to properly address anybody in court. Why are we pointing at the one on the right, the one with the horn?
I think he's asking if that's a horn growing out of her forehead.
I'm not sure.
You see that the older giant on her left kind of leans over and sort of whispers something into Cersei's ear as she bends over and takes a listen, and then she kind of comes back and continues to look towards, and you hear Nim say, "Sarissa, these are the small folk that I told you about." Sarissa looks and she says, "Small folk of the upper lands, what brings you here to see us?"
Well, Your Majesty, we've been sent here by the Oracle, and we're here to figure out what's going on with the Ordning and help mend it? I don't know. What are we here for, guys?
Well, I think to end the Ordning.
Yes, we're here to help end it. The Oracle sent us here.
To stop the conflict, because there's conflict all over the Sword Coast of giants destroying small folk villages and digging things up out of the ground and battling each other, and we're just trying to help resolve whatever issues you guys are having. And obviously, someone or something in your order or your history wants us to help. If we were allowed into the temple of Anam, and the oracle would talk to us and push us forward on this quest.
You hear Miriam behind you. Pardon me, ma'am. I need to step out, Sarissa. I'll be right back. I apologize. Sarissa nods. You see Miriam goes out the door.
Melton, follow her.
Okay.
The door's closed shut.
She's up to no good, though.
She says, I have heard that you know of my mother.
Yeah, I met her a while back.
Who do you work for?
Lord's Alliance.
As you say Lord's Alliance, Uthar, you notice immediately he stands up and he quickly reaches over and whispers into Sarissa's ear. You also see that Mithra also does the same. She kind of quickly whispers as well, as they kind of whispering back and forth. Sarissa said, did you say the Lord's Alliance?
Yep.
Uthar says, you dare come in here from the Lord's Alliance after what your group has done? He stands up. This is impossible, Sarissa. You cannot let them be in this room.
Well, I work with the Emerald Enclave, and we're just about saving the earth, saving trees and nature and animals and everything living in peace and unity and hugging a tree.
You see Sarissa kind of puts her hand out and sort of tells Uthar to just kind of relax. And Uthar, you can tell he's not comfortable, but he sits back down. And Sarissa says, it's nice to meet somebody from the Emerald Enclave, you said?
Yes, my lady.
Nice to meet you. I apologize for Uthor. He's upset, and you hear him say, don't apologize for me. What do you... And he kind of sits back down again. And she says, the Lord's Alliance has taken my father, King Hecatan. I think that it's courageous for you to come in here, considering that you have kidnapped my father and have unfortunately boosted me to this spot so quickly. Now, if you've taken my father and you killed my mother, why are you here? And you see her voice kind of cracks a little bit as she says that. I don't understand.
I believe there's been a huge misunderstanding. The Lord's Alliance has not kidnapped Lord Hecatan, and definitely have not killed your mother.
She looks to Stig. She says, Lizard folk man, where did you see my mom?
On the coast by the Mirror of the Dead.
Yeah. The red rocks? The rocks between Waterdeep and the Mere?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting that my mom's body was found on the red rocks.
The same place where your two sisters were with her?
We used to visit there commonly. She liked to see the small folk. She liked the small folk. I like the small folk. But when you kidnap my father and kill my mother, how dare you?
I don't.
Who said that the Lord's Alliance killed your mother?
It's well known. All the giants know that.
Nobody in the Lord's Alliance knows that. Nobody.
You see Uthar kind of whispers to her again and kind of comes back, and she says, I don't understand why you did that to my mother. I don't understand why the Lord's Alliance is doing this to any of us. Us storm giants don't bother anybody. We just stay here under the ocean.
Well, what would the Lord's Alliance have to benefit from killing your mother?
Disrupt the ordning?
What? How would that help them? You guys are tearing up our the upper lands. Who benefits from your mother dying?
Certainly not us.
My mother loved you guys.
Yeah. Well, why would we want her gone if she liked us so much? You guys are destroying everything we got.
So, you speak of the Oracle, is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Tell me about the Oracle. Tell me about what the Oracle has planned for me and my mom and my father, my sisters.
The Oracle just told us when we went in to see it, it said, "Speak in giant, ask your question, and know the truth." And we were trying to find out information about what had happened. And it told us that Anam had broken the ordning. It then told us that we must prove ourselves by bringing in relics that were buried in the ground. So we went around to a number of Uthgar burial sites and dug up. We dug up three different items: a mask, a spear tip, and a torque. And we brought those items back to the Oracle and presented them to the Oracle. And the Oracle basically told us to go to Lynn Armal and talk with Sansuri and get a conch to visit the king here. So apparently the Oracle didn't even know that King Hecton had been slain.
Well, if the Oracle sent us here to see the king, then the king must not be dead.
Yes, because the Oracle did specifically say talk to or travel to King Hecatan of the cloud giants.
Is there proof that the king is dead?
The king is dead. Long live the king.
The king is dead? No, the king... Not that my mother is dead. The queen is dead. My father is missing. The Lord's Alliance kidnapped him. I hope he's not dead. If he's dead, that means that I am now in power, and I don't want that. I'm not ready for that yet. You hear her sister behind her say, "You're right, sister, you're right. You are not ready for this yet. Please, allow one of us who is a little bit more experienced to take over and to help." Uthar says, "Not now," and she kind of quiets down.
So, do you think the Lord's Alliance could really keep the king of the cloud giants hostage?
She looks to you all and she says, "I know that the voices tend to get the cloud and storm giants mixed up, but the capture a storm giant, the king of the storm giants." Yeah. She says, "Anything's possible. I mean, you guys visited the Oracle. Nobody in this room has seen the Oracle." I mean, why would small folk be allowed to see the Oracle and us giants are not? My father went there a long time ago.
Why would the Oracle send representatives of the Lord's Alliance to see you if they were responsible for King Hecaton's disappearance and his wife's demise? That doesn't make any sense.
She looks, and you see Mithra kind of bends over and whispers again into Sarissa's ear, and you see Sarissa listen, and she sort of nods her head. And she says, "I need proof that you've been to the Oracle."
Well,
what proof do you need? I mean, what proof can we give you?
We can describe anything in there. We've got drawings of the magic wall that let you in to the Oracle room from Anam's temple. We've seen the statues of your gods there: Grolanter, Surtur, Memor, Stronemos, Thirm, Scorius Stonebones. We know the items that they held.
You see Uthar kind of whispers to her again, and she says, I agree with my counsel. I appreciate both Mithra as well as Uthor and their words of wisdom. You need to take me to the Oracle so I can speak to him myself.
Well, as we explained earlier, Harshnag brought the temple, Anam's temple, down.
Is he Lord's Alliance? Is he another one of your friends? Harshnag
was
is
defending.
A frost giant.
Yeah, Harshnag was defending the temple against the blue dragon that was trying to get in to, I don't know, do what with the Oracle. Harshnag died a hero.
Never heard of Harshnag.
He not only rescued us, but he also kept the ancient blue dragon. Maybe you know him, Imrith. For some reason, he wanted into the Oracle room, and Harshnag was able to defeat the dragon and seal off the Oracle room before the dragon could access it.
Yeah, the dragon ambushed us like the coward it was when we came out of speaking with the Oracle. And Harshnag defended us while it attacked us.
So the Oracle has been destroyed. The Temple of Aman has been destroyed.
Because of the dragon.
Dragons. Dragons. Always dragons.
I don't know why. We don't know why there was a dragon there.
Mithra, do you know why there was a dragon there?
Mithra says, I suggest you address my queen, of course. I am only here for counsel for her.
So I kind of whisper over to Barry, and maybe Melton can hear it. I go, do you think the dragon had anything to do with the fact that Lord Zalto was building that dragon-slaying colossus? The Oracle had told us that Lord Zalto, who was the Lord of the Fire Giants, was planning on building a dragon-slaying colossus with the adamantine items around the land. Maybe that had something to do with why the dragon was there.
I'm not too familiar with stone giants, but why do you have blue scales on your neck, Mithra?
She looks at you and she says, I am a storm giant, not a cloud giant. Those are not scales. Those are barnacles. You obviously are not familiar with storm giants, are you?
That comes from not cleaning yourself properly.
Just, when the dragon was mentioned, I noticed you shifting uncomfortably in your chair to cover those barnacles.
What dragon?
The blue dragon in the Aman temple we were talking about.
Emerith?
Yeah, Emrith.
Ursa says, Emrith? She looks to Mithra. She says, what was your mom's name again? I forgot what your mom's name was. Mithra says, oh, it was Imi. Says, it doesn't seem right.
Is that short for Emrith?
Sarissa says, are you suggesting that Mithra, who has helped us through all of this, the loss of my mom, has been on this court for decades, for centuries, is working with dragons?
It's possible. Do you have a cleric in your midst? They may be able to cast Zone of Truth and find out what really happened. Or a paladin.
You see, Mithra says, Sarissa, for all we know, one of these has probably murdered your mom and did abduct your father. You know that. Nim told you that. This is sure what's going on.
If we had, why would we come here peacefully to speak with you?
To atone for your sins, to ask for forgiveness. Probably to ask for money to pay for the king to come back, of course.
The oracle did specifically mention that several evil giant lords would stand to oppose us.
Sarissa, see?
Stand to oppose helping the rest of the giants.
Sarissa, they're calling us evil. They're not here for us. They're not here for you. They're here for their self-serving.
These are not our words. This is from the oracle itself.
So you say.
Your oracle.
Wood elf from God knows where.
Oh,
I am from the high forest, thank you.
I have an idea.
Yes.
Let's kill him.
If your highness will allow me, I'll cast a legend and lore scroll that we got from the cloud giants, and we can ask about Emrith.
Sarissa kind of sits back and she speaks to Mithra and she says, Mithra, you're well versed in magic. Legend and lore? What does that mean? Mithra says, speak, lizard folk. What does that mean?
It's a level 5 divination spell.
What does that do exactly?
I can describe a person, place, or object, and it'll teach me a brief summary of the lore on the thing I've named. Forgotten stories, current tales, secret lore that's never been widely known.
She says, Sarissa, this does not make any sense. She kind of stands up, and as she does, you notice that she's taller than what you would expect as a storm giant would be. She's even taller than Uthor, and she kind of turns to Sarissa and she says, I'm telling you, they are evil. They brought down the temple, I'm sure.
Something's not right about some people here. Why have you got that horn growing out your head?
Sarissa says,
yeah, have we ever met a storm giant or seen a storm giant yet?
Sarissa says, you, sir, are rude. You don't ever ask that kind of question.
Yeah, well, you know.
For a small folk, I would expect more from you.
I think somebody here is a dragon lover.
Dragon lover? There are no dragons here.
Well, blue scaly dragons. I think there's blue scaly dragons around here. Blue scaly dragon lovers.
Uthor, do stone or storm giants usually have barnacles? Blue barnacles?
Everyone is unique. However, no, we don't see a lot of barnacles on our storm giants. Ithaca's had a horn for as long as she's been around. This was described as gift of the god of Anam to her.
Would it be okay if I cast this spell to ask about legend and lore?
Mithra says, Sarissa, I don't agree with this. Nobody knows what that scroll really is. It could be a suggestion or a disintegration or a lightning bolt or something. I highly think this is not a good idea.
We could give it to one of your clerics to cast. I don't have to be the one to cast it. They can read it.
Can I move closer? I need a. Well, look at that big giant horn coming out of her forehead.
She says, you, sir, are rude. And didn't you hear the queen? She said, don't be rude to me.
Oh, I wasn't being rude. I was just talking about your horn. Hey, can you blow that thing?
No.
Anybody have some giant rings?
What?
What?
Yeah, I need a ring.
Hey, while all this is happening, can
Yeah.
I kind of like secretly cast Detect Magic?
You definitely can try. Why don't you give me a sleight of hand, I guess, to see how you're good at hiding your somatic component?
Jazz hands.
Jazz hands. That's a pretty good roll, I have to be honest with you. So you're casting Detect Magic, is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Alrighty, gotcha. And what is it, within 30 feet?
Yeah.
All right, gotcha. So as you cast Detect Magic, you do detect that the throne is magical, and you also detect magic on Mythica herself.
Any like item on her or like her?
Her, like there's some sort of spell on her, and I think it would be a conjuration. I think would be the correct spell.
Conjuration?
I think it would be. Let me find out. Hang on one second. Let me make sure. I'm not real great with all the classes of the spells or the schools. It would be... Nope, it's not. It's an illusion.
Could I dispel it? Well, I don't know about that yet.
Yeah, not yet, but...
All right, so I continue to kind of just move around the room and you know, just act
Sure.
normal, you know, her out of place self.
Yep.
And as she gets close to each person, as she walks by, she'll mention that both the throne and Mithra seem to have magic aura around them, and that the aura around Mithra is some sort of illusion magic.
Can I try to stealthily dispel magic then?
You sure can if you'd like to. Absolutely. Sleight of hand again. Sarissa looks around and she says, I feel like we're getting nowhere. She says, small folk, please. I trust the small folk. I know that you guys are normally very good, but my father is missing and my mother is dead. I need proof. I wish the Oracle was still here.
I don't know what more we can tell you about the Oracle. That we've been there, that we've worked with many giants around the land, from Zephyros to Harshnag to what's her face just a little bit ago, Sensori, and if we were behind some sort of plot, why would only 4 of us come here? 4 small folk against who knows how many giants live here.
She says, if you can prove that my father is not dead and save him or bring back information, then I guess I can trust you. I'm not sure what your purpose was here, and it's difficult. So, Barry, you cast your Dispel Magic, and as you do, immediately after you're done casting it, you feel a large hand wrap around you, and Nim is standing right behind you and picks you up. She says, what did you just cast? I saw you do something.
Sorry, I was just spelling some magic.
Why would you do that? All of a sudden, Sarissa's like, what are you doing? I told you guys I trusted you. And everybody's kind of standing up at this point. Why are you just casting Dispel Magic?
Well, Mr. has some kind of illusion around her.
What?
Squirming, trying to get out of her hand.
Yes, there's some sort of magic around Mithra. It encompasses her. It's an illusion of some sort.
You see, Sarissa kind of sits back down, and as you say that, Mithra looks at you and she says, what are you talking about? I don't cast any magic. I'm not a magic user. I know nothing about magic. Uthor says,
Do you
this
have
is true.
something that has like has illusionary magic around you then?
Not that I know of.
I'm sorry, milady, but I can see it as clear as day. You are surrounded by a magic aura of an illusionary nature. Some of us are magic users by trade, and these, we have these abilities.
She says, this is preposterous. I can't understand this. Why? Why would you say that? And she kind of steps up and she walks over to Sarissa and she says, I'm telling you, I have no idea what these people are talking about. Melton, so you're able to get that ring on top of her horn there. As you do that, she looks at you and she gives you a look that you have not seen in a really long time. Matter of fact, the last time you saw it was probably in the Oracle's room, or right outside of it. She reaches over and grabs Sarissa's scepter and pulls it from her hand. As that happens, Sarissa is prone, and she looks to you, and you see kind of this almost dragon-like appearance comes to her face. She says, I told you to leave us alone. Harshnag died as he should have. And suddenly casts a spell, and she disappears.
I told you we should cleanse the room with fireball.
The one time I don't fireball.
Uthor immediately stands up. He's like, "What just happened?"
Can I tell who disappeared? Mithra and
Mithra did.
Sarissa?
Nope, just Mithra.
Okay. So Mithra grabbed something from Sarissa and then
she did.
The scepter.
She took the scepter.
Can I tell what kind of magic was used to disappear?
Yeah, you sure can. Because you did have the spell up, so...
Yeah.
Look it up again and see what kind it is. So.
Teleport out or just turn invisible?
She teleported.
Transmutation.
Conjuration. She's gone.
She just teleported away.
She took my ring.
Uthgar stands up. He says, What just happened? Nim opens the door to the back and she yells, The queen has been hurt. The queen has been hurt.
Melton, what does the ring mean?
Well, I just couldn't help myself. I always wanted to play ring toss on that horn. So I just kind of mage handed one up there and tossed it on her horn.
Why did she look at you like that? Why did that set her off?
Well, I could tell she had some blue scales. And when somebody mentioned dragons, and I think she was a dragon.
A dragon that turns into a giant?
They can shift. Velgalos shifts. She's back! Fireball!
Oh, sorry. Clicked the wrong one. So you see that the rest of the giants have now kind of come into the room here. Miriam says, grab the little ones. They're the ones who did all of this.
No, we didn't.
Is
she, what's wrong with her?
She is literally just sitting there, almost looks as if she is either paralyzed or in stone. I mean, not covered in stone, but she's paralyzed. She looks paralyzed. She's not breathing. She's just sitting there, staring off.
Can I check her before they get to me and see if I can tell if there's anything I can do to snap her out of it?
They're kind of arguing back and forth, but sure, yeah, you can head up there, and you hear Uthar's like, I told you, there's definitely problems here. It's the little folk. They're the ones who brought all this on. They're the ones who upset her.
Can I see if there's magic on her?
There is.